Imagine stepping into a city-sized celebration, with over 130,000 people, 185 acts across 8 huge stages, and a mission that goes far beyond music. That's Roskilde Festival for you: wild, safe, sustainable, and totally Danish. You might think a festival with 130,000 people means chaos, mud everywhere, endless queues, and getting lost in the crowd. But here's the surprise. Roskilde turns what could be a logistical nightmare into one of the most organized, welcoming, and safe festival experiences on the planet. And that's exactly what we're going to explore in this video. Sustainability and green energy. Viking heritage. Welfare system. New Nordic food. Welcome to Denmark Explained, your front row seat to the hidden gems, quirky traditions, and powerful stories that make Danish culture truly unforgettable. Picture this. It's the early 1970s, and 2 young students dream of bringing the free-spirited energy of the Woodstock era to their small European town. They had no corporate sponsors, no massive infrastructure, just a field, a stage, and the belief that music could bring people together. That modest dream became the very first edition of what we now know as one of Europe's biggest and most beloved festivals. In that very first year, around 15,000 people showed up, an impressive number for a debut event in a small country. The atmosphere was raw and unpolished, but electric. You could feel a new cultural movement starting to take shape. Just 1 year later, a non-profit foundation was formed to run the festival. That decision would shape its future forever, ensuring that profits would go back into cultural and charitable causes rather than private pockets. By 1980, the festival had already attracted around 50,000 attendees. The world was starting to take notice. Through the 1980s and 90s, it grew not just in size, but in ambition. Stages multiplied, sound systems improved, and the lineup began to feature some of the biggest international names in music, acts like Bob Dylan, Nirvana, and Radiohead. By the mid-1990s, the festival hosted nearly 150 artists on 8 main stages, attracting music lovers from across the globe. What's remarkable is that while other festivals chased commercial sponsorships and exclusivity deals, this one stayed true to its roots, open, inclusive, and committed to community. Over the decades, the audience grew to more than 130,000 people each year, making it the largest festival in Northern Europe and one of the top 5 in all of Europe. Today, it's more than just a music event. It's a temporary city, with its own neighborhoods, infrastructure, and culture. People don't just come for the headliners. They come for the atmosphere, the sense of belonging, and the shared belief that music and culture can change the world. And while the scale is staggering, 2.5 million square meters of festival grounds, the heart of the event is still the same as it was back in 1971. Bringing people together for something bigger than themselves. In a moment, we'll explore how this festival not only pulls in massive crowds but also operates with a level of safety, purpose, and social impact that sets it apart from almost any other event of its kind. But first, let's take a closer look at the human engine behind it all. When most people think of a music festival, they picture expensive tickets, corporate branding, and a small army of paid staff. But here, the story is very different. This festival is run by a non-profit foundation, and it's powered by one of the largest volunteer teams in the music world. Around 30,000 volunteers give their time each year, not for money, but for the experience and the shared belief in what the festival stands for. Out of the entire workforce, only about 50 people are employed full-time. That's an extraordinary ratio when you consider the sheer scale of the event. Volunteers handle everything, from building stages and setting up campsites, to running food stalls, keeping the grounds clean, and helping guests find their way. Many return year after year, treating it as a kind of family reunion. The profits from ticket sales and merchandise don't end up in a shareholder's pocket. Instead, every surplus goes to cultural, humanitarian, and charitable projects around the world. Since the early 1970s, the festival has donated the equivalent of over 59 million euros to good causes. In a typical year, between 2 and 3 million euros are distributed to organizations working on issues like poverty relief, human rights, and environmental protection. Safety and well-being are another area where this festival stands out. It's not just about security guards and medical tents. The event employs trained social workers, psychologists, and crisis response teams. They provide everything from mental health support to specialized services for those in distress. There are also designated, safe spaces, quiet, staffed areas where anyone can find help or just a moment to breathe. Accessibility is taken seriously too. Wheelchair platforms are set up at major stages, sign language interpreters are available for key performances, and mobility assistance is offered throughout the grounds. The aim is clear. No matter who you are, you should be able to enjoy the festival without barriers. Sustainability is built into its DNA. More than 90% of waste is sorted for recycling, and reusable cups have become the norm. Food vendors are encouraged to offer plant-based options, and renewable energy projects are tested on site. This combination of community effort, social responsibility, and meticulous care is rare in events of this size. It's why the festival has received awards for sustainability and for promoting social change. In the next chapter, we'll step away from the behind-the-scenes logistics and dive into the heart of what most people first notice: the music, the art, and the activism that make this festival not only massive, but meaningful. Here's something to ponder while we go on. Would you rather join in as a volunteer helping shape a festival? Or come as a visitor, soaking in the artistry and atmosphere? Which would you pick? Let me know in the comments below. Planning a trip to Denmark? Or maybe you're moving there soon? Don't just Google your way through it. Let DenmarkExplained.com be your shortcut to a smoother, smarter, and way more fun experience. At DenmarkExplained.com/products, you'll find itineraries, ready-made plans that turn confusion into unforgettable days. eBooks, packed with local insights, cultural tips, and everyday know-how. No boring history lessons, just stuff that actually helps. Expat guides, moving to Denmark? Get the info you wish someone told you before you landed. Everything's digital, everything's simple, and everything's designed to make Denmark feel less confusing, and way more cozy. So skip the stress, and get the guides that explain Denmark, clearly, cleverly, and in plain English. Check it out now at DenmarkExplained.com/products. Your trip, our tips, let's make it amazing. Enjoying this deep dive into Roskilde's magic? Hit like, subscribe, share, and comment below whether you'd volunteer or just witness the show. When people first hear about this festival, they think of legendary headliners, big names that dominate the world's stages. And yes, the lineup is incredible. Each year, around 185 acts from more than 40 countries perform here. Genres range from rock, pop, and metal to hip-hop, electronic, jazz, world music, and experimental sounds. Whether you're into chart-topping stars or underground discoveries, there's a stage for you. But this isn't just about music. The organizers have built an experience that blends art, activism, and community. Scattered across the grounds are dozens of large-scale art installations, some interactive, some thought-provoking, all designed to spark conversation. You might wander into a piece that responds to your movement, or a structure that invites you to sit and reflect on the festival's yearly theme. There are also dedicated spaces for debates and workshops on topics like climate change, equality, mental health, and human rights. Activists, artists, and experts share the stage to inspire action and encourage dialogue. For many visitors, these conversations are just as important as the music. One of the festival's signature programs is its focus on emerging talent, especially from the Nordic region. Each year, a group of promising new artists is given the chance to open the festival, often launching them onto the international stage. This commitment to nurturing new voices sets it apart from other major events that focus only on established stars. Diversity and inclusion are core values. The festival has pledged to achieve full gender balance in its lineup, and progress is tracked openly. This means you'll see a mix of male, female, and non-binary artists on all major stages, representing a broad spectrum of backgrounds and identities. Over the years, the event has been recognized not just for its cultural scale, but for its values. It has won awards like the Take a Stand Award, given to festivals that promote social change through art and music. This isn't just entertainment, it's an annual platform for ideas that matter. For some attendees, the biggest moments aren't in front of the main stage, but in the smaller spaces. Hearing a new voice for the first time, joining a workshop that challenges their worldview, or participating in a project that helps the local or global community. Next, we'll explore something many first-timers find surprising: how a festival this massive can feel safe, clean, and welcoming, almost like a small, well-organized city. At first glance, the numbers are overwhelming. More than 130,000 people gathered on a site that covers 2.5 million square meters. That's the size of a small city. In fact, for 1 week each year, the festival becomes the fourth largest city in the entire country by population. But what surprises most first-time visitors is how calm and organized it feels. The grounds are divided into clearly marked areas, concert zones, camping areas, service points, and art spaces, so people can navigate without stress. The concert area alone covers over 400,000 square meters, with stages placed strategically to manage crowd flow and sound quality. The camping zone is a city within a city, with room for around 50,000 tents. These aren't just empty fields, they're organized into neighborhoods with names, meeting points, and their own mini-services. Throughout the festival, more than 30 service hubs, known as agoras, offer essentials like toilets, showers, food stalls, phone charging stations, and even small cinemas. Cleanliness is a major point of pride. Despite the huge crowds, hundreds of toilets and urinals are cleaned daily. Waste is sorted for recycling, and reusable cups and food containers are now the norm. This commitment to hygiene and sustainability doesn't just happen, it's the result of careful planning and a culture where everyone, from volunteers to guests, feels responsible for keeping the site in good condition. Lighting is another detail that makes a big difference. Paths, campsites, and gathering areas are fully lit at night, making it easy and safe to move around after dark. Security teams and trained volunteers patrol the grounds, ensuring help is always close by. Getting to and from the festival is equally smooth. Special trains and buses are scheduled to bring tens of thousands of people directly to the entrance, reducing car traffic and keeping the surrounding area unclogged. International media outlets have praised the festival's organization, with publications like The Guardian and Pitchfork calling it one of the best-managed large-scale events in the world. For visitors, this means they can focus on the music, the art, and the atmosphere, without worrying about safety or logistics. This combination of massive scale and human warmth is rare. It's what turns a week-long event into a lifelong memory for so many people. And it's one of the biggest reasons why, year after year, people from across the globe return to this unique celebration of culture, music, and community. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Click on the playlist to your right to explore more stories about Denmark's culture and festivals.